But Liverpool have a great manager. I believe Jurgen Klopp's a great manager. They've got the board, which Liverpool fans would argue are not doing enough. They've pulled out the Bellingham race, which Liverpool fans will be disappointed about because they need a midfielder. But looking at Liverpool at the moment, guys, do you think that they're just going through a wobble and it's just a case of back to recruitment, in the summer, sign the right players. But they do have some defensive weaknesses as well as midfield. So it's not just one area of the pitch they need to fix. They're very top heavy, a bit like Tottenham. They've got some good players up top, but behind that they're struggling. I mean, Liverpool are probably going to finish fifth this season, guys. From looking at this table here, they've got a lot of catching up to do. Man United have a game in hand. Man United win that game, you could probably argue that Man United have taken fourth. How do you guys look at Liverpool? I mean, do you blame more the owners, or do you think that Klopp's got it wrong this season? I mean, how do you look at it?
I'll probably say it's a bit of both or a bit of everything, to be honest. I think it's the players. I think it's a bit on Jurgen Klopp as well, for not asking for midfielders in the summer as well, because there's lots of reports that Jurgen Klopp said no to midfielders. He was happy with what he had. So that's partially on him as well. And the fact that he's not sort of fixed the defense and being ruthless on the owners, that's partially on him as well. And it is on the owners as well for not obviously investing into the team, like say Chelsea have, Man United have, Man City have, Arsenal have as well. So, and obviously there's rumors in the summer that they're gonna sign maybe 2 or 3 midfielders as well. Spend a lot of money. I'm hearing £200 million. Apparently they're going to spend in all those sort of positions. They've been linked with Mason Mount, Conor Gallagher as well. They've been linked with, obviously Bellingham's the one they've been linked with or want the most. But yeah, I truly think if Liverpool do get backed properly, I think this summer, I think they could be a team to watch next season and could possibly maybe challenge Man City again for the title. I think if they recruit correctly and if they obviously gel together, Diaz, Jota, Nunes, and Salah all together, then yeah, I think the Liverpool of old of the past few seasons could come back next season. But I think a lot of people are going to judge Klopp next season rather than this season because a lot of people, a lot of clubs that have that sort of dip in the season. But if this continues, then we know it's a downward spiral. But yeah, it's just a wait and see with Liverpool and during the summer, to be honest, and see how they do because they've had good results this season. They've beaten Rangers 7-1. They beat obviously Man United 7-0. Did they score 6 as well? Or I can't remember who it was against, but they
Yeah, in
scored
the
6, didn't
beginning.
they?
Yeah. Early in the
Yeah, and
season.
they've beat Bournemouth like 9-0 as well. So they are capable, but it's just they're just really inconsistent. So yeah, Trent's obviously done quite well in his new role as well, with a new setup in midfield. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Liverpool do next season, to be honest.
Yeah. Alex, do you agree with that? Is Klopp working wonders
Yeah,
there with what he's got?
I think they missed the transition. I think the transition. I think we all agree after so many years successful and after winning the Champions League, they started with I think they started very well the attacking transition with this year. We will probably see the nicer things from all those Gakpo and Diaz and Nunes from the next 24 months. But in defense, they completely missed it, that transition to happen. And in midfield, if you say midfield, Elliot and Curtis, what can I tell you? Yeah, they run around. I can't tell you what their strength are. If you ask me right now, I only know they are very engaged, very very on it, very passionate, and very working a lot for the team. But yeah, for me, it's a transition. They kind of lost it a little bit. Now they have to do everything at once. That's the reason they don't want to spend 100 million because they need to do a lot of things, to correct in this summer. And it's a wise decision. They took that decision with Jude Bellingham. It doesn't suit them either because Klopp is there. It's not a guy who spends 100 million on a player. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think many would want Jude Bellingham at their club. What he's done in Germany, what he's done for England, what he's done in the Champions League. So I think Jude's a great signing, and he wants to come back to England. By the sounds of it, maybe Real Madrid will come in for him. Let's see. But I think you've got a player there who, under the right coach, under some consistency, a Klopp or a Pep, maybe a Ten Hag, you could argue, would do well. And I think that's what Bellingham needs. He needs a coach to take him to that next level. We've seen the likes of Sancho come here and struggle from Germany, from the Bundesliga. We've seen one or two players in the past that's happened to as well. Who knows?
Werner
Jude
and
might
Havertz.
struggle in the Premier League. You never know. It might be too fast for him. There is always that slight step up, isn't there, in quality when you come from the Bundesliga?
It's guys, don't underestimate Borussia Dortmund's work with the youngs. They are top in Europe. 20 years ago it was Ajax. Ajax still produces like a bakery talents, zack, zack, zack. But this whole thing nurturing one, or even taking with somebody already mid-stage, like 18, 19, already kind of known, and then bringing them to the next level. Dortmund has proven that many times that they
Haaland.
can do
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Not from 1 to 7, but taking them already at 6, 7, and then putting them up to 10 and becoming. So Dortmund is very famous for that in Europe.
They're kind of like a feeder club in terms of like we've had clubs in the Premier League where they've produced great talents. Like I remember Southampton produced so many good talents. Like two of the ones that stand out, Mane, Van Dijk. Obviously, Brighton have produced some great talents as well. So I think Dortmund definitely one of those sort of like feeder clubs where produce great talents. Even in the Champions League this season, I was impressed with them, especially in the first leg against us. I forgot his name. The one you scored, is it Adeyemi? He gave Reece James a tough time that game, and not many players do that apart from probably Vinicius. But
because the young players at Dortmund, they've got a special assistant for young players, and they assist them.
Okay.
I don't know. So, and I'm thinking, maybe Jadon Sancho, when he came to Manchester United, it's like, now you have to start to being an adult. You're in a football club, and now you have to perform, and and obviously it doesn't have the continued minutes he's getting. So that adds all up. It's quite a big challenge for him.
Yep, it is. Well, he's been playing well recently. Actually, he scored a few goals. So Sancho coming good. I think you've got to give these guys a season, anyways, before you judge them. I don't think it's fair to judge them, in their first 3 or 4 months. And I think a lot of those Chelsea players will come good. Personally, I think they just need a bit of consistency, and they'll come good. They're good players from their previous teams.